P2H. Live on YouTube. Once again. It's July 15th. It's 7 after noon. A little late. Trying to set up some stuff that didn't end up working out. That's okay. We got some stuff to do today, don't we, huh? It is time, once again, for us to embark on our journey to my dream workshop. Today's topic is Hunter's Faith, but we're also going to be tackling Sentry's Call. Won't take long. I'm doing them both because they're both headshot builds, and I spent a lot of time in the past week running Sentry's Call, and it's made me want to spend some time refining it. I feel like the way I have it built right now isn't necessarily optimized. Yeah, that's about it, really. So let's go ahead and just jump on in, bring you all over. Now, normally, we do the double up here, but I think just for today, because we're doing the build videos,
now entering a safe area.
Go ahead and just do coffee cam. Which today, we do indeed. Oh my god. Indeed have coffee today. Stay focused. This is going to be a short one. By short one I mean like an hour possibly. Because I want to be on later today. I got some stuff to do midday. And it's just going to mean that streaming the build section and the active demo section is just going to be broken up. Is fine. But this is essentially the old Hunter's Faith build. My 6.7.3 variant. This was very tanky. Used to run it with a mobile cover. I had switched it to smart cover when Striker became an issue. Because they would get stacks off of the mobile cover. Oh my god. So the issues that I was trying to alleviate involved the striker stacks. Some of the guns I had switched out already. This M4 is actually old. It's balanced. I switched out Deadly for Predatory. This used to be on a DeadEYE and accurate. This gun is interesting to me with the balanced talent. I know a lot of people hate it. Doesn't add any damage, doesn't seem to do all that much. It increases the speed at which, when you aim off of anything, that the ridicule hones in down on. So if you want to pop up and shoot people, this is actually very interesting as a talent. And when I'm gonna run this build, I think I want to use it. I think this is gonna be viable. I threw Predatory on there. I don't think we're gonna make Predatory useful, especially after the rerolls we're gonna do, because I think we're gonna go crazy with it and do the 9K firearms I think it's gonna be what we're gonna do with it. It depends. Depends how many roles we have available to us. We have, oh, what do we got? Firearms on that. So it's essentially this guy's the one that's screwy. We got this health roll here, and then we got a health roll here, and a health roll here. So we could definitely fix all the health rolls for firearms and then do the mods for stamina. Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. Any of you who are unfamiliar with Hunter's Faith, the advantages this build has are in optimal range and headshot damage. Those are the base boosts that you get, the stat boosts in the 2-3 slots. Optimal range being one of the most underrated boosts you can get. If you run a sniper build, I was even thinking, like, if you're gonna do like a DeadEye with a ninja bike, throwing one of these babies on there, getting that 2-piece optimal range bonus with Devil's Heel or something like that, or any sniper really, would be pretty intense as far as base bonuses go. So you don't have to waste any mods on increasing your range if you want to fight at that range. Just saying. I'm wondering if anybody thought about doing that. Seeing as DeadEye's viability in the 6-piece isn't very good, you really only go out to this guy here, the 5-piece, 20%.
Don't be shy.
You know, do you really need initial bullet stability? Do you? That means you pop, pop, make them drop, pop. Well, anywho, let's talk more about Hunter's Faith. So, optimal range, headshot damage, and then what the actual bonus is, the talent Hunter's Faith, each consecutive shot with a bolt-action marksman rifle that hits an enemy deals 3% more damage. The damage bonus is increased by 4% for every 3,000 firearms. The bonus damage is removed once a shot misses a target.
Come take a look.
Upon weapon swap or reload, or after 10 seconds. So, bolt actions, very, very strict. Very strict. Based in increments of 3,000 firearms, which is why I went with the 6,000. This is a very tanky sniper. As is, anyways. But you don't need tanky snipers right now, right? Especially bolt action. The inherent issues with bolt action guns is that you can't really suppress people with them, especially if you don't have the firepower. You have to, if you're gonna suppress them with this type of weapon, and that's the thing, is if you're at the prepared range, you're essentially looking to suppress targets. DeadEye, Hunter's Faith, Sentry's Call. And in the, even Lone Star. I mean, but the suppression is applied in different methods. Alright, let's give this one a go, right? More optimal range, headshot damage. Headshots double the gained increased damage bonus. So this feels a lot like Striker, just with the limitations of like a Sentry's Call, right? So, I was thinking right off the bat I would adjust the stamina rolls. We would end up losing Predatory for the 9k on the firearms, but we could probably keep Meticulous. And Meticulous is actually an interesting pick on a sniper for this build. I don't think it's good, personally. I probably will re-roll it for damage. But, man, it's interesting in that you don't want to reload, right? Oh, who sent me an invite? Somebody sent me an invite. I missed it. That was my bad. But one of the limitations of this build is you lose those bonuses when you reload, right? So you've got to try and reduce the amount of times you have to reload while you're firing your weapon. So expanded magazine is probably a must-have, right? That makes the most sense anyways. And then the here, we'll go ahead and get this guy too. How is it? So going for 9K firearms makes sense, but whether you go into 1,000 into stamina or 1,000 into electronics, I suppose that depends on what you want to do. If you're going for competent, perchance, you know, get the 10% bonus, I would think that would be a decent way to go about it. Meticulous isn't going to be worth keeping. I'd rather just get rid of that guy. Yeah, I'm already gonna get rid of this. Someone, oh, I bet this is someone I know. This is my bad for not noticing earlier. See, this is gonna be essentially my proxy sniper, which is why I wanted to have a little bit of stamina for this one here, the M44. I guess we could just make them both prepared. You're not gonna have Unforgiving, that's for sure. Commanding is silly. Next shot, automatic critical hit. That's pretty cool, I guess. Let's take that. Let's take that instead of the other one. Let's try that. Let's do... instead of Meticulous, let's take anything else. Just about anything else. Because in lieu of using Meticulous, we're going to use One is None. One is None is far superior in a headshot build. Swift? And this is the other thing that we could run too, if we're going to do a 4K stamina. People underestimate sustained and health on kill in general. Especially when you're a sniper class. I understand that you're not always going to be getting those kills. For reasons that people drop behind cover. But the thing is, NPCs don't. they die pretty quick. It's a quick way to bump up your health. And every time you are a striker with a sniper rifle, is how you have to think of this gear set. Hey, Knight, what's up? I'm going through the ins and outs of a hunter's faith and what you can and can't do with it, what you want to avoid, what you don't. Just giving it a little run through of what you can roll, what works, what doesn't, what I have done, and what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to do Sentry's Call. And then I'm going to take a break for a little while, and then I'll come back, and then I'll do some live demo of Hunter's Faith, primarily, because I've done Sentry's all this week. You're going to see a bunch of uploads of sentries. Because I've been practicing on sentries to get ready for this build. Because this is a high skill gap build. Gear set, rather. It's all headshots, right? So, I understand that a lot of people think that Strikers is a skill build, quote unquote. But this one has so many limitations on it. No, it's a classified gear set. It's been around for a while. It's undergone a lot of changes. It used to be a very defense-oriented gear set. It used to be that for each hit landed for a certain distance, it would increase your damage resist. But then they changed it. They went with this marksman rifle, bolt-action marksman rifle gear set that acts a lot like Striker. It builds stacks for every headshot you land. And the percentage it goes up by is 3% plus 4% for every 3,000 firearms you have. So it's very, very intense, the ramp up of damage you can do with this thing. So yeah, this set's been around forever. People use it in PvE all the time. It's just because of the damage output. It's absurd. And it's easier to land headshots on NPCs than it is players. But I want to use it in the Dark Zone. I plan on using this in the Dark Zone. So I need to... I know there's Wids, I think, runs a Hunter's Faith occasionally. And Skill Down is another one who runs Hunter's Faith. Both... Wids is a PC player, whereas Skill Down is a console player. You can check both of them out. I think I have links to them on my channel in the Division community section. You can check them, either one of their channels out, and see some of their stuff. But either way, I'm going to be attempting this because I need something that has higher output, surprisingly, than DeadEye, which is absurd to me in the first place. Because these Strikers, man, you got to be able to, like, 1 or 2 hit them. And in this setup, this is my old setup for this build. This used to be a very tanky Hunter's Faith. I loved this build the way it is right now because I would ramp the damage and you wouldn't be able to hurt me. It was a lot like those hybrid Striker builds, except it was based on headshots. And I would use it with mobile cover. But you can't do mobile cover anymore because of the Strikers and yada, yada, yada. So this is where I'm at now. I'm essentially sitting here about to reroll all these staminas to firearms and then probably switch these mods out to stamina. And then we'll have a 9-4-3 build. And we'll be doing absurd amounts of damage with this thing. I think that's the game plan going forward. But this thing is sturdy. If you want to run it as a 6-7, I do recommend giving it a go, you know, at least seeing how that... It's not bad. You still do a lot of damage. And the thing is, it ramps quickly. You know, you get 25, 20. You get a lot of stacks very quickly for every headshot. And you're durable. That's the other thing. You're not like a flimsy 4K DeadEye or something like that with no health. But I need a cannon, right? That's what I'm building right now, is essentially this, this big old cannon build. Blast cannon. Just because I need something that hits a lot harder than people are willing to step out and take hits from. And there's I'm pairing it up with a sniper that it makes sense to pair up with this. I have a Hunter M44 that has balanced. And it's a talent that people don't normally go with. I want to try it. I like the idea of it. Weapon reaches max accuracy faster when shouldering. So when you aim down the sight, it zooms to that lock position for that first bullet faster than the next guy, right? So I feel like that may be viable. I think when you're, popping up off of a cover to shoot or whatnot, because I'm going to be utilizing my cover-to-cover skills too. Some of these. So I think that's going to be viable. We'll see. I'm going to be experimenting for sure. That is what this is about. And then this guy. I don't like keeping this kill experience, whatever, but we're going to be at a range where it's probably not going to matter that we're missing the burn shock and what was the other one? Bleed? Probably not going to miss the bleed resist. It's fine. Of the resists, that is probably the one you are going to miss the most, though, because they're going to land those hits on you at range. Misery becomes the... But, I like where this is headed right now. Do you have any plans to run a build like this, Knight? Like a sniper? Not necessarily Hunter's Faith, but say a, something like, DeadEye or Sentry's Call. Or hell, you could even throw, a sniper on your everyday, striker and just, pull it out when you've got the stacks already. You can use that thing to wham people for stupid amounts of damage. I remember seeing that happen for a little while. I don't know why that fell out of fashion. You didn't even have to roll sniper damage. You could roll the AR damage and just wham people with the stupid Hunter M44s. Bolt action, not even give a squat. Stamina, firearms. Alright. Here we go. Replace these guys. We're gonna go ahead and get ourselves some stamina. I was tempted to get the health just to balance out the deficit we're gonna have now in the health department, but I don't think we really need to balance. I think we need to lean. We need to lean heavily in one direction so that we can benefit from the damage. There we go. This is one of our mods. Go. I think this is going to work out very nicely for us too. Oh, that is such a low stamina roll. I hope there's other ones. I'll delete that one next time I see it. Yeah, there we go. That was hard to look at. I need one more. They're going to make this a lot better in Division 2. They're going to reduce the gun mods at least. They haven't even talked about, to my surprise, gear mods even being in the next game. If they're going to be in at all, they may be unlockables, just like the gun mods. So that might change the way everybody looks at building some of these gear sets. Oh, I'm going to have to take that It's this guy. Oh no. Where is he? Is he over here? No, I just saw him. There he is. Oh no. That stat. That 28. Oh no. I'll take it. I have to. Actually, I don't think I have to. Is anyone interested in running these sniper builds? can give some tips and tricks, because I've been learning. It's been a process. Yeah, let me, it's been an experience. I've actually spent a week on Sentry's Call, getting better with that build. Here we go, we're set now. In preparation for running this one, because Hunter's Faith is going to play a lot like Sentry's Call in that you're building stacks based on headshots, but the idea is that the stacks are for you, much like Striker. So, there we go. We're maximizing now. We're maximizing the stacks. Headshots, double gain. Alright, that's cool. So 4% for every 3,000 firearms. That's sick. We're getting 12. So that means 15, which means we're getting 30. 30 a headshot. That's good. That's real good. Alright. Cool. Alright, I think we've done everything we need to do other than these guys. So, again, last time I was running this, it was a 6-7-3. It was a beef tank, so we had health rules. So now we're going to roll it for what I'm assuming to be crit damage. I think that's the way to do it. At least for the backpack. I'm still conflicted when it comes to rolling crit damage on the knee pad. The knee pad is much like the chest piece. You get these high rolls for health. Hey Arkham Gaming, what's up? How goes it? Maybe I can get your opinion here real quick. I'm always conflicted, Arkham, when it comes to rolling between health and crit damage on knee pads. Even when it comes to these DPS builds. Like, this is going to be a 9-4-3. But the health output, the outcome you can get on the major attribute on a knee pad is so high. It makes me very sad when I forego it. It's as good as your chest piece rolls, right? So, but the point of this build is to lean heavily in the firearms in the damage department. So are you doing an injustice to your team if you don't, you know, all in on your crit damage rolls? Or is it, like, how do you feel about it? I'm kind of iffy. I'm wishy-washy on the situation. Lately, I've been rolling them. I've been getting rid of them. I've been going for crits. Especially when it comes to DPS builds. But I'm not against mixing them up.
Your attention, please. Self-defense class, organized by Captain Benitez, will be meeting at 0900 hours area today.
Yeah, see? Yeah. I feel similarly. I do. I really do. Because they're not going to respect the sniper. They're going to run at the sniper if they don't take hits that matter, right? I mean, that's the whole point. And you won't be able to help your teammates when the enemy is scoping down your teammate. When you shoot, you want that shot to matter. Your teammate will thank you. So, I think this is the way we'll do it. I think this is the way to do it. So we've got the long range in the first slot. It's prepared, M700 carbon. Prepared, sustained, elevated. Sustained, we'll mess around with that. The second is going to be our custom M44, balanced, disciplined, accurate, because I wanted to mess around with this balanced feature. That is sustained. It's because I want to bring some health on kill along for the ride, because the skill haste isn't as helpful in this case. just bringing a little bit of rejuvenation every time I down an NPC minimally. Because I understand downing a player, they're liable to be behind cover. So you don't necessarily get the kills. You're a sniper. That's just the way it is. But NPCs, at least, when you're building stacks, because you have to think of Hunter's Faith in terms of mixing a Sentry's Call and a Striker. Like they have some weird love child. And this is what you get. You get Hunter's Faith. So a lot of the methodology that Striker uses applies to the way you would play a Hunter's Faith. Yeah, you could, for sure. And you wouldn't be wrong to do it. But that may be a thing I do in the future. Because Sustained is more of a tank play. You're not wrong. It's a vibe. You're very right. That would increase the damage output. You would be much better off if you're trying to kill people. All I'm doing is giving myself an option as a heal between my two primaries. I know a lot of people like to stick with their tertiary as the heal and the determined whatever. They like to stack all of those on that weapon. But because I'm a sniper, I feel inclined to have at least part of that involved with the main and secondary weapons, because I'm going to be at range, whereas if I was using my third weapon, the pistol or the sawn-off, what have you, that would be closer range. So I just feel like having, either the sustain or something else there may help. And plus, we're running a Hunter's Faith, so the ramp-up of damage is going to be so brutal that it may not matter as much to me right now that we have more damage output in something like Deadly or what have you, instead of Sustained. It just depends. Depends what we're trying to do. Hey, no, I'll see you around. I'll be here. I'm going to be here for an hour. I got to do Sentry's Call. I'm going to do this. Actually, I think we're done here for the most part. Yeah, between Deadly and, I was thinking Competent, if I was going to roll Stamina off. I think Competent, you only need... I could be wrong when it comes to Competent. I haven't looked at it, because I don't ever run Competent, so... Oh, there, yeah. So, yeah, you would just run that. I was thinking Competent would be a solid play because of the way I run with Tac Advance. I do Tac Advance into a Smart Cover. I get Competent. I have the stability and accuracy of a Smart Cover. And then suddenly we have a very, very damaging sniper combination. So, it depends. Depends what we're trying to do. But that's... Arkham's not wrong. If you want to hit people that hard, which we do, that is a way to go. But I'm of a my philosophy when it comes to builds is to have some sustain somewhere. Not necessarily sustained the talent. Don't get me wrong. Like this is the sustained, but I mean sustain as in ability to heal yourself, keep yourself in the fight somewhere, whether it be through your heals, through skill haste, or through something like health on kill, if you do a lot of damage, if you're up front, if you're getting those kills. Something like that. I like to mix it up. But, no, Arkham's definitely right. If you want to land those devastating blows, that is where to go with that. Let me adjust my Sentry's Call now. This is the other half of the build section. We're going to be messing around with this guy. What do we got? We got a scope. Just throw these on something real quick. He's got room. You can have something. What do you got? You need a grip. Get a grip, buddy. for a grip. MG5, hell yeah. I'm not against it. Having a range on a MG5 like that might be interesting. Oh, we already did the grip. We need the magazine. That should be plenty of room. I'll be able to mod with this. Alright. I'll look at the gun mods. You should suspect that on Hunter's Faith it's mostly headshot damage, crit chance. Also, rate of fire. Rate of fire is a big deal on snipers. Anybody who runs a sniper rifle, increasing your RPMs, especially with your bolt actions, very crucial. If you can do that anywhere you can. Watch that fella named Skill Down. He runs a TAC link all the time because whether he's running DeadEye, whether he's running Hunter's Faith, landing those hits quickly, that reloads, the fast reload of the bolt, getting those shots off, huge deal. I've noticed that watching a lot of these high-end snipers, it seems like when they're using the bolt actions, the idea is to be able to get those shots out quickly. But the benefit of the Devil's Heel is that I don't have to worry about rate of fire because it's absurd to begin with. So we're only worried about bumping that damage up. So I've been running this Sentry's Call for about 2 weeks now. In preparation for that Hunter's Faith build. But I need to change this guy up. This guy isn't optimal. I don't feel like anyways. It's a 7.54, 5-piece Sentries, because it's for PvP. The 6-piece is only a PvE. So 5-piece PvP build. Uses Luray Barretts. Skill haste everywhere because it's a sniper build. You don't normally get kills. But again, I was saying that, you know, the theory behind that has been kind of wavering for me. Plus, I wanted skill haste because I had this guy in here. I had competent on a few of my guns, and I felt the need to be able to proc that consistently. So we need to retrofit this guy. I want it to do more damage. So we're gonna probably take that electronics out of there. Get rid of competent. I've got plenty of doubles and heals. Yeah, reckless. The problem is you take more damage, and reckless versus Luray Barretts is a 2% difference. I think it is, or maybe 3. Is reckless 8% damage? I don't remember. But you take, let me see, I might have one down here. No, I don't. Because reckless, it's a high damage output, but you take so much more damage, it just doesn't end up being worth it to me. Whereas with Luray Barretts, if you just manage your skills, yeah, you are right, Simon. Yes. Which makes it viable. It's just that I don't agree that it's as good as Luray Barretts from a personal standpoint. In my personal opinion, I always go Barretts over reckless, just because I can get a similar bonus in damage without hurting myself so far as the damage resist. And all it takes is like what? You proc your pulse or a first aid, you know, your booster shot, suddenly you have more damage resist, you have more damage from the booster shot, and you have your 5%. Like, that seems better to me than taking that damage to your damage resist and having it all the time. It's like the difference, because this is better to me than robust as well. I have a robust chest down here. Increase armor while uncovered by 10%. This feels very viable, especially for the way I play, because I use cover all the time. But if it just takes me utilizing 2 skills, which if you're in an emergency situation, it's not unheard of to have 2 skills down, armor by 10% right in here. So I get the bonuses of both the robust and the reckless chest pieces built in one, and I get this skill power bonus. Like, this exotic chest piece is a huge bonus to me. It's huge. Now, it's not as great as it used to be because the whole, you know, blend of electronics to firearms and stamina, like, you can't really... You're not really going to see the firearms electronics builds as often anymore, right? Maybe Firecrest. A far-off chance. Maybe Tacticians. Very far-off chance. But it's mostly going to be, you know, just these firearm stamina builds, or it's going to be these electronic stamina builds. In which case, you're just trying to get these bonuses on either end, in the middle, or whatever. 2 of these are going to be relevant to you, and it's easy to access them via your skills, where you don't have to take a negative or be wed to a certain style, right? You would have to play like me if you wanted robust, whereas you just have to use some skills, and you can be as nimbly-bimbly as you feel like. That's my reasoning, Simon. But it's not that you can't do what you say you want to do with the reckless chest piece. I would say reckless, go for it. Once you get a Luray Barretts, I would switch that in. That'd be my opinion. But I'm getting rid of the Luray Barretts anyway, so I don't know why I'm defending it so hard. I don't even... so... Yeah. I'm getting rid of Luray Barretts. I don't even care. It's gone to me. It's dead. I don't even want it. There's a reason for it. I don't want Luray Barretts anymore because I'm moving in a different direction with this build. So, in the sense that my Hunter's Faith is going to be that cannon build, right? We're going to go from 2-hitter to 1-hitter in the span of 1 headshot, right? Sentry's Call, for me, has been this responsive sniper. I've been winning a lot of fights in close proximity with other players. Even strikers. Strikers have made mistakes. They take a taser at the wrong time versus me, or don't respect that I'm in their vicinity, and they scope down sight at anybody but me. They go down hard. I think I can make them go down harder. Not only that, I think I can make it so that it's harder to take me down. So I think we're going to go ahead and get rid of Luray Barretts. Which may sound a little odd after a speech like that. But you're going to want to hang in there. We're not gonna be doing any of that. None of this electronics. We are, for the most part, gonna be avoiding it in this regard because it's a firepower based support build. It's fine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here. We're gonna dig deep. How long ago has it been since you've seen one of these guys? Remember that nerf? Everyone was so mad. Oh, buddy. It's been a minute. Been a minute. Nimble, how you doing? Some of you might not even know what the fuck this holster is. This is how long this thing's been out of fashion. Oh, man. So, unless you play survival, in which case you might accidentally roll this thing on occasion. After completing a cover-to-cover move in combat, you heal 2% of your max health over 4 seconds for every 1 meter run. I may run this. I might run recovered. We'll figure it out later. Right now, I've got nimble. So this is the thing that I'm going to run, okay? Gosh, it's been a hot minute. And look at those stats. I want to address this real quick. 1272 is 130, roughly, points difference. If it was anything but a holster, I wouldn't be mad about it, but it's 130 times 3, so it's 400 points, essentially. That I'm dropping. It does make it entirely too difficult to justify. But, the way I'm going to play this build, I think it's going to be worth it. I think we'll still be saying worth in the end. Depends on what we can do, right? Depends on what's available to us. So, we're gonna get rid of electronics. That's a given. That's a Sentry Call backpack.
Hey, gotta see it to believe it.
This guy is gonna be firearms. We're gonna do the thing to do, which I think is the thing to do. We're gonna increase our damage output. We're gonna lose those abilities for sure, but it's important for us to lose them. So we're losing the heal, and that's our prepared heal. So heal. Heal. So yeah, probably this guy, and then we'll get rid of predatory on him. We'll roll anything else really. I'll take anything but predatory. Deadly looks good. Alright, cool. Alright. Deadly Vicious. Brutal Deadly. I could turn this devil into a prepared devil. I could. I think we're gonna keep it as our proximity sniper. Vicious is more of a long range. You know, you're missing your headshots. It sucks. That's fine. We'll do it like that. So we'll take this guy off of him. And we'll take this guy too. Oops. Again, this is also a headshot build. Oh, I gotta put the grip on first, because I don't have... Now, prepared versus deadly, prepared's better. You're sniping at long range, to me. I think that's an easy call, to be honest with you. whether or not I could roll that with the 500 credit cost that we are experiencing currently on this weapon, it's an issue for me. So I'm not gonna really spend the money on it. I don't wanna. Build this guy white as well. This is our ranged sniper. So it makes... I kind of color code my stoof. It's color coded for East. So I know that this is number 1. The number 1 is white. Number 2 is red. There we go. Nice. Alright, so we've rolled the electronics off. We are into firearms. We have just enough stamina. We're proccing. So that's all it is now, is just putting the firearms back in, right? Put our firearms back on. We had Luray Barrett's. This was skill haste. And you know what? I'm not against the skill haste. I might have sounded like it earlier. There's a time and a place for it. Especially on your mods. Crit chance is a low roll. Skill haste is a high roll. I don't have any health on kill to benefit from. I already have skill haste rolled in here. So I benefit from having, you know, stacking some skill haste up. So I'm not against it. I'll keep where I'm at. Alright. Just looking over some of these rolls here. Just know that there's some stuff that can be improved. This guy for sure. So, I want to test this nimble. I want to see if it helps me more than Luray Barrett's. I did take a pretty big hit to my... I took a big hit to my stats. 400 points because it's a holster. But because of my play style, I think it might actually be beneficial. One is none on Sentry's Call may be rough. I know it makes sense on Hunter's Faith. It does semi-make sense on Sentry's Call. The reason I ran one is none on Sentry's Call was because I was trying to conserve ammo and because I was aiming strictly for headshots because I was preparing for Hunter's Faith. Once I get back into it, I won't have to exclusively aim for headshots, but they will matter still. But steady hands is a big advantage when you're running Devil's Heel. Between the smart cover and steady hands, you can do a lot of precision sniping fast. You can pump out a lot of bullets. Very strong combination. But I think I'm good where I'm at, to be honest. I think we don't need it. Get by without it. Just kind of trying to dump some of these. Yeah, just dump it right here. Cool. Alright, well I think this is where I want to leave my Sentry's Call. Combat Medic is your good teammate. You get the evasive action, tactical advance because we are utilizing cover. And we're using one as none to maintain our ammo cap and to encourage headshots. Devil's Heel, because you can increase your damage so much between these two. And you are a Sentry's Call. You're just issuing damage percent bonuses for your teammates. So it's not necessarily about you one or two hitting people. it's you landing 3 consistent headshots and other people taking your glory. That's just the rule of a sniper. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. But, the capacity for you to kill people is absurd. Between headshots giving you that 30% stability, body shot giving you the headshot damage of 30%, and then additionally the heal, not only copying that, giving you a 30-second bonus of that. People don't read this shit. I don't understand. I'm not running this. Hitting weak points increases weapon damage by 15%. That's off an NPC. This is much like a striker would. You go and find some NPCs to fuck up, and you get all 4 of your bonuses for 30 seconds between 2 guns. You don't reload them. That's absurd. So you get 50... The thing is, I'm not even really outfitting these guns to take advantage of that situation, because I do play skirmish from time to time, so I can't rely on NPCs. So, I've got these high velocity mags. Really, if I wanted to take advantage of those in the dark zone especially, which a lot of you seem to enjoy, you go out there, if you're going to be taking advantage of the Devil's Heel fire, this thing here, the Devil's Heel, what is it called? This was called something, oh, Fury, Fire and Fury bonuses, the maximum amount of them, you would have an expanded mag for sure. And make sure you don't reload, because the reload fucks you up. It's a lot like Lone Star in that regard. So if you play Lone Star, you take that into account. You play with that mindset when you're using Devil's Heel, okay? You switch weapons instead of reloading, especially before you get the last bullet, because you auto-reload and it fucks everything up. You get real sad when you lose all your bonuses. So I think that about does it. We're coming up on the hour mark. Really, I think that is everything. I think I've done what I wanted to do. Yeah, we adjusted this. This was a... Do we want to lower this further? We could. Thing is, it's a proxy fighter, so I think unlocking Vicious is important, because this is going to be just enough stamina to be able to maneuver around in the at least 30 to 15 range when you need to. This will still be viable. I think the only thing that we've done is we've taken away a prepared roll somewhere. We could roll this heal eventually to get the prepared roll that we'd want. I'm not overly worried about it. We definitely replaced the damage output of prepared by giving it another damage multiplier of 1 by putting the firearms up by 1,000. So it's still fine. It's gonna be good. And we made our proxy fighter Devil stronger. That much stronger. 1,000 firearms stronger. Additionally, we're now healing off of Nimble. So, I think we're strong. I think we're really strong. We might have lost the 5% or the 10% damage resist, but I think the heal is better. I think we're doing better. This is by far a better setup. We're doing good. I think this is the way to go. But, here's what we'll do. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to do some life stuff. And then I will be back later to demo both of these builds. And I will not only demo them in the Dark Zone, but we'll probably end up in the Skirmish. I probably not run this guy in Skirmish just because it's based on the 9K and you lose, what is it, 130 for every piece here. So I would lose my 9K form, which would suck. I'd have to, like, lose all of my stamina completely. I'd have to dump all of that into firearms if I wanted this to actually function the way it's supposed to. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I may have to. Just to get used to it, you know, between the skirmish and the dark zone, it just may be a thing, you know. You just have to get rid of something like sustained. Just be okay with losing that health. Which would be Arkham Gaming's style, which we may move toward that. That may be a thing that happens. But I know that Sentry's Call for sure works no matter what in both of those scenarios. See what happens. I've been P2H. Hey, this has been the 12 p.m. broadcast. We've been out here for a hot minute. July 15, 2018. This has been P2H's Dream Workshop on Sentry's Call and Hunter's Faith. Catch me in a few hours. I'll set the timer. So if you use the bell or whatever, it should tell you when I'm going to be on. I'll set a timer for when I'm coming back on to do the play section, the demo of these builds. I'll be in the dark zone and I'll be in skirmish, so we'll hang out. Until then, I've been P2H. You have been a schmuck. You gotta lie, cheat, and steal, because somebody has to win, and it should be you. P2H, out.